There is a lot to break down from this game here tonight, and let's start with what the Padres did in the bullpen, and really what was a terrific job here tonight of bullpen management from Mike Schilt. We begin in the eighth inning. Padres have a 3-1 lead. The heart of the Braves lineup: Ozzie Albies, Marcell Ozuna, Matt Olson, 2-3-4 coming up. And Mike Schilt went to Robert Suarez to face 2-3-4. Now, Suarez gives up a couple of hits, but ultimately strikes out Michael Harris with the tying runs in scoring position to get out of the inning. It begged the question, with Suarez 17 pitches in after that eighth inning, would he come out for the ninth inning, or was that a setup if it was still a save opportunity for somebody else to get that chance? And that chance here tonight went to Jeremiah Estrada, who not only put together a 1-2-3 ninth inning to pick up his first save in his first opportunity in the major leagues, but he was electric. He struck out the side. So let's begin with the bullpen here tonight, because not only did Mike Schilt push all the right bullpen buttons in this game, which he deserves a lot of credit for here tonight. We are always, myself, fans, everybody, right? Second-guessing bullpen moves when they don't work out. Well, when they do work out to the degree that they did here tonight, you have to give credit where credit's due. And this was wonderfully managed here tonight. And on a couple of fronts, the two guys in the eighth and ninth inning deserve a lot of credit. Robert Suarez, number one. We've talked in the past about not just the effectiveness for Robert Suarez, who continues to be terrific. He's got a 0.47 ERA here on May 17th. He continues to be great. But we've talked about it a lot. His willingness to go the extra mile for his team has been a really, really big deal for the Padres in the early part of this season. And that's now come in a number of different ways, not just the ability to get more than 3 outs, not just the ability to pitch on back-to-back days early on, but his willingness here tonight to say, I don't care about the ninth inning. You need to get through that heart and then middle of the order in the eighth inning. Cool. I don't care if it's not the ninth inning. I'm willing to go do that for you. And then having the faith in Jeremiah Estrada and having Estrada perform the way he did, not only is that a big deal here tonight, you can very easily argue that that's a big deal moving forward. If you now can place trust in a guy like Jeremiah Estrada, if this kind of situation comes up again, where you've got a 1-2 run lead, you've got the heart of an order coming up, and Mike Schilt says to himself, I would rather at this moment have Robert Suarez face those big guys, whether it's the Braves or somebody else, and we can rely on somebody like Jeremiah Estrada on a night where we need him to go get the final 3 outs in the game. That's potentially a big development moving forward. It really, really is. So Mike Schilt pushed all the right buttons in this game, and his players executed. Suarez gave up a couple of hits, but got out of the jam in the eighth inning. And then Estrada, look, you're wondering there as he comes in for the ninth inning against a good Braves lineup. Keep in mind, even the bottom of the lineup, he's got to face Arcia, Duvall, Short. It's still a tough task in that bottom half of the ninth inning. He was flawless. He struck out the side. So it starts there, the bullpen here tonight. There were a couple of other things that stood out in this game. Number one, and let's stay on the pitching, Matt Waldron, terrific here tonight. 5 2/3 innings, 1 run given up. You felt like the outing could have gone really differently early. The first inning gives up a single, a double, but he ends up limiting the damage in that first inning to just 1 run allowed. Really settled in, set a new career high with 10 strikeouts, 98 pitches on the night. And against this Braves lineup, that is awfully impressive from your number 5 starter. And then when the Padres took the lead, the 3-run 5th inning, Waldron came back out, a shutdown 5th inning, threw up a 0, got the first 2 outs of the 6th inning. So Matt Waldron deserves a lot of credit for what he did here tonight. And we talked about Mike Schilt, right? And there are moves like tonight when Mike Schilt manages the bullpen the way he did when his players execute, it makes Mike Shildt look like a genius, right? That's exactly what you want as a manager. You want to make moves and then have your players execute and have your players make you look really, really good, right? Well, we talked about in the pregame the lineup switch here tonight. Manny Machado going to fifth. The Padres electing to put Jurickson Profar in the number 3 spot in the lineup. It went Arise, Tatis, Profar, Cronenworth, the top 4 here today. Well, you look at that 5th inning where the Padres finally got it going against Max Fried. Arise a single, Tatis walks, and then who collects the first run of the game for the Padres? Who drives in that first run to tie it at 1? You guessed it, the number 3 hitter, Jurickson Profar. So that started the scoring. Cronenworth, the RBI single. Manny Machado got an RBI and a fielder's choice. Just like that, a span of 5 batters, it went from 1-0 Braves to 3-1 Padres. So even the way it worked with the lineup here tonight, with Profar batting third, that ended up working out in a really nice way. Did the Padres offense miss some opportunities early on? They did. Padres went a combined 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They left 11 on. There were additional offensive opportunities. But I do think the bottom line, and by the way, the Padres had 13 hits. They only scored 3 runs. So there was more offense to be had. But with that said, I think when you zoom out on this game and you consider the Padres just came off a really disappointing series at home against the Rockies, and you look at this starting pitching matchup here tonight, you got one of the best left-handers in the National League in Max Fried, who's been pitching really well. Padres are sending their number 5 starter, Matt Waldron, to the mound. You've got a Braves team that plays really, really well at home. I don't care how you win this game, and I would imagine Padres fans don't care either. I mean, you win, and the Padres found a way to win it here tonight against the Braves. And again, I think the story starts with what happened in the 8th and 9th innings with Suarez, with Estrada, with the aggressive nature that Mike Shildt had in managing his bullpen here tonight. Again, not every manager will do that. Bring in their closer in a key part of the order in the 8th inning. And quite frankly, you know, and this is no shade at Josh Hader, I promise. But as we've learned, you know, not every closer necessarily will do that for you, right? Or want to pitch in the 8th inning. But what we've seen from Robert Suarez is that he is willing to do what his team needs, whether that's been getting more than 3 outs or doing something like he did here tonight. And I, you know, not that Robert Suarez is going to be your 8th inning guy. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think what we saw here tonight could be sort of a key moment for this bullpen in the sense of maybe it opens up some avenues for you moving forward. If there's a situation like this again, where Mike Shildt really feels like he needs Robert Suarez to come in earlier than the 9th inning. And by the way, if it's later in the year, he may go get a 6-out save. I got it here tonight. The Padres can't go to that well too often. You're trying to keep Robert Suarez fresh and keep him, you know, at a manageable workload. And you've already asked them to get more than 3 outs a number of times this season. So I understood it. And the Padres put a great deal of trust tonight in Jeremiah Estrada, and it worked out. It was terrific bullpen management. I mean, Mike Shildt pushed all the right buttons. You can even go back before that with getting De Los Santos to come in the 7th inning after Yuki Matsui walks the batter, brings the tying run to the plate. De Los Santos got short and Acuna back-to-back, and the inning was over. So credit to Mike Shildt tonight. Pressed all the right buttons in the bullpen, and the Padres get a 3-1 win to kick off this 4-game series in Atlanta and this 7-game road trip. Much more to get into when we come back. We'll have all the radio highlights. We will go back to Atlanta. Hear from Mike Shildt as the Padres win it 3-1 against the Braves. Our post-game show continues after this.